And what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Rush. Today, we are going to be talking about the Bitcoin dump that happened yesterday, last night on August 18th, which happened during Pacific time around 8 o'clock my time in California. And we're going to talk about some of what happens and what I'm going to be doing next in response to trading this market as a result. Now, before we begin today, if you guys have not yet already, make sure to subscribe to my channel and like this video, as I'll be coming out with new daily videos on the markets, how I'm going to be trading it, and my analyses. So make sure you guys smash that subscribe button and that like button. You guys don't want to miss out. And before we begin today, I am not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. You should always be responsible for yourself and your own due diligence before trading or investing in this market, as it is extremely risky. Now let's begin. I have my 5 top setups I want to talk about today, and just to let you guys know, I am trading on Coinbase, and we are going to go through the top 5 setups on my watch list today. And first of all, we are going to be talking about Bitcoin as the big event that happened last night, which occurred just right over here, all the way from about 12,500 all the way down to about 11,600. So what happened there? And we have quite a bit of speculations on what happens, but what really happens, look, I don't really know the events that occurred that made this happen outside of technicals, because I am a technical trader and I read mostly charts and I try to find fractals, patterns that can explain to me what happened, so I can look out for them on the charts again in the future. So my analysis of what happened was there was heavy bearish divergence on the daily chart. So as you can see here, bearish divergence, if you guys don't understand, is a very important concept in technical trading, as that could predict a reversal. Now, they might not always happen, but when you do see it on the charts, I would be extra careful, as I would, and put a very tight stop underneath the price of whatever you're trading, just in case it does just dump on you like last night. So what happened here was, as you can see, there was a higher high on the daily, on the Bitcoin chart, daily charts, and compare it with the previous high just right here. So when you compare 12,500 to about 12,100, you're going to see a higher high on the price action chart. But on your relative strength index chart, you're going to see a even or lower high, as we do see here with the arrows. So that doesn't really match up, and what I have been seeing is that every time, not every time, but almost every time this happens, I am very careful in trading or in holding my position, because that could just dump on you. And this is one of the times. And then I've seen a few other times when this has happened, such as this one other time, where my red arrows are. My next red arrows, it'll be just right here, where we see a higher high on the price action and a lower high on the relative strength index. And as a result, it was a dump, pretty significant dump too. It was from 87.50 to about 74.50. So that was the last bearish divergence that happened before last night. And then we can keep going back and find the same patterns, such as right here. You see a higher high on the price action charts with a dump that follows, because you see a lower high on the RSI, and so on, and you could probably find quite a bit more of those. So when you see that in the future, I would be extra careful with my position. So what now? What would I do now after the dump? So I see that the price action has fell back into the ascending triangle and has retreated back to the daily 21 MA. I am not really a big fan of trading Bitcoin just because it's a lot slower than the altcoins. So it's not really my preference, but I eventually do want to hold some Bitcoin just because it's an insurance against the inflation in fiat. So what would I do here? I think right now there's about two scenarios in my mind, not financial advice, but I am still not really going to trade Bitcoin anyways, but I look at the situation and see what I can do to make a profit here. Now, one of the scenarios is I do see a bullish divergence on the hourly chart. So what happens is you see a lower low, but you see a higher low on the RSI. So that usually indicates a reversal might be coming. Of course, it's not 100%, but as I've seen in the patterns, it has played out quite a few times. So I would, if I was to trade this, I would probably wait for the price action to come back down to this white line right here, because right now it's retesting that 21 MA on the hourly, and then see if I can get a much better opportunity to come in at around 11,700. And then if I was to trade this, I would probably get out before the previous resistance of about 12,400, 500. That's just because it was the previous resistance. I trade according to the charts, not financial advice, but I would not try to overextend my position above previous resistance levels. That is just the logical way for me to trade it. In the other scenario, I could also trade above, get into position at 12,000, but that just wouldn't make sense because you're going to have to exit very soon for a very small profit. At least in my books, that's about less than 4%, from 12,000 to 12,400. So I mean, I think I can get quite a bit of better profits somewhere else. So this is just my analysis of the Bitcoin chart. I am not looking into getting in here, but if I was, those would be my two entry points. Now let's go down to some of the more interesting charts I have seen. The next one would be Algorand. Now this coin has also been running downwards on this falling wedge pattern. Falling wedges are typically reversal patterns, but not all in your favor, but of course not always. So you should always, and I would, play with caution. How I would see this is that I would be trading the breakout of this falling wedge, and the breakout point I would see as to be higher than the previous high, which would be at around 62.6275. So I wouldn't even consider getting in after 62.75, but that is a very risky position as well because it could come back down on you if it was a fake out. So I would apply a very tight stop loss. Or the other way you can see it is you could buy the pullback. So after it confirms a breakout, usually the price action will come back down to the breakout level. Again, I think I would get in at around the same price at 0.6275 when the price action retests that level. So after it breaks out and it comes back down to that level, I think that'll be safer. Or I can also wait for it to retest and then reverses back up. That would be the safest. But this is a pretty risky position if you want to just buy the breakout, because you're going to have to apply some discipline and apply a very tight stop loss just in case it comes all the way back down on you. But what makes me a little less worried is that you have quite a bit of moving averages here, but I do not want it to go any further against me if the breakout was a fake, so I don't have to lose any extra money. So that's how I would play this. If you guys have any feedback, I would love to hear it in the comment section below. And I would love to get to know your ideas as well. Now the breakout target up here, I did not mention, I would exit in a few places if I was awake, right? If I was awake, I would actually take profits at the next previous resistance level. It looks like it will be about 0.67 if I was awake, and then I would get back in after it hits back to a support, so I can maximize my profits. But if I was asleep, I would just take profits at these levels, and then probably the last profit taking levels would be around here before the top of the previous resistance, just so I don't have to overextend myself, and to make sure that I do grab the profits before the price action changes, either for upwards or downwards, because you just never know. Now let's go on to Link. This is the setup that I was talking about yesterday, which was being in this symmetrical triangle, and it's still running in the symmetrical triangle. So nothing is really, I don't expect anything to happen here until it runs towards the end of the triangle and then look for a breakout there. So the price action, the key levels I would actually be more interested in would be around this area of the triangle, and if I can get in on the breakout, the profit target would be about $22, but I would take some profits at the previous resistance level, about 19.5. I would be sure to take some profits there, but that is just me, not financial advice, before letting the price action go any further, just so I do not miss out on the profit taking opportunities. Now let's go on to the next coin, which is OMG. Now OMG has had quite a bit of a run up in the past few days. It has I was in this coin on Sunday night when it actually reversed back up from this falling wedge right here, and then you see that the price action has met the price target of the falling wedge, and it's taking quite a bit of a breather right now, and we are interested in knowing where this would keep going, the price action. So one thing I would note that there is some bearish divergence on the 4 hours time frame. On the 6 hours time frame, as you can see, higher highs in the price action, but with lower highs in the RSI. So that is something to be careful of, and I would be a little wary of opening a position for a higher high. But I would wait for a pullback here, either to one of these moving averages here, and see if I can catch a bounce. So if the price action were to pull back, if either pull back to the 21 MA on the 1 hour, which would be not that big of a pullback, it's about maybe like a 10%. If that does not hold, it seems like the next support level would be, let's see, this would be 2.85 right here. The next support level would be about 2.85, so if I was to get in about 2.85, thinking that the price action can breach the 21 MA, I would probably be looking at a higher profit margin there. So I would not get in on OMG here. I would wait for it to pull back just because of the bearish divergence. But this is one of those coins where I have seen increasing interest as of the past couple of days. As I have, you see right here in the daily charts, you do have decreasing price action with decreasing sell volume. That is a good sign. Now we're gonna have, now we do see a pivotal point with increasing price action with a higher than previous buyer volume. So that is a good sign to me, but in the short term, I would wait for the price action to pull back. Another one over here would be NMR. This is newly listed on Coinbase Pro, which is the platform that I am trading on. And what I see interesting about this, it has just came all the way down from where it was listed, and maybe it could be bottoming out, but we will have to see. Because one thing you notice is that you do see bullish divergence on the price action right here, with slightly lower price action comparing to this red candle right here, but with a higher high. So lower low, a lower low with a higher low on the RSI, comparing these two lows right here. One confirmation I would look for is if the 1 hour candle closes above the 21 hourly MA, just because as you can see here, price action has not closed on top, a solid close on top of the 21 MA. So a solid close above the 21 MA would be some sort of a confirmation for me to get in on a bottomed out price action. Now, I would definitely stay tuned to see how this plays out. And of course, these are just my speculations, and there are quite a bit of strategy that goes into taking care of your position once you're in. So getting in is not it's not the finished strategy. So you really have to do your own strategies on how to keep your position profitable. Now, this concludes my analyses and opinions of my watch list today and the top setups on my watch list. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Please subscribe and like this video. Let me know anything in the comment section below. I will see you guys tomorrow.